Depression is a common mental health disorder characterized by a low mood and loss of interest in activities. Clinical psychologist Dr. Kirsten Thomas is here to help us understand depression and how to get help. That's next on Wellbeing Matters. Thank you for tuning in to Wellbeing Matters. Today we have with us licensed psychologist Dr. Kirsten Thomas, who specializes in the treatment of anxiety and depression, as well as psychological evaluation and testing. Today she shares her expert knowledge with us on depression. Dr. Thomas, thanks so much for being here today.
Thank you so much for having me today, Robin. I appreciate being here and having the opportunity to be able to share some information about depression today.
Great, thank you. So maybe we could start off, if you could please share with us the different levels of depression.
Sure. So usually when I'm meeting with people and we talk about depression, which is a commonly used term, right? We kind of throw that out here like, oh, I feel so depressed today. And sometimes folks don't understand maybe some of the differences or some of the different ways that we can experience depression. And so usually when I talk about the first level, I usually describe it as a feeling, right? And most times when we have a depressed or sad feeling, we're able to directly understand where it's coming from or the cause, right? Like I feel sad today because my pet fish is sick, right? And with that, you understand it, and it's usually able to pass because you have a cause or understanding of that. And then the next level I usually talk about is a depressed mood. So maybe you're feeling kind of down or sad, maybe you're a little bit more irritable than usual, but you don't really know why, right? And so usually when we have a mood, it's there, but there's no why. And that can last from maybe a couple of hours, even to a couple of days, right? Before we kind of lift and feel back to ourselves. And then the next level is if you have that depressed mood and it's lasting for 2 weeks or more, now we call that more of a clinical episode. So at that point, you may be trying to do things to feel better, but for some reason you're still feeling kind of down in the dumps, or maybe you have low energy or your sleep is a little off. And then there could be some other things that are going on as well. So those are usually the levels that I discuss with folks when trying to give them an understanding of what that looks like.
Thank you, Dr. Thomas. In the fall and winter especially, what can depression feel and look like?
So when the fall season comes around, right, that means the days are starting to get a little more chillier, right? We're starting to kind of lose that sunlight earlier in the day. So probably mid-fall throughout the winter season, we may start to feel really tired. And the tiredness can be not only physical, but sometimes people describe like a mental tired, right? Meaning like it's kind of hard to get up and do their responsibilities or day-to-day things. Maybe they're having a little trouble with sleep, or they don't want to be around folks as much or do some of the things that they enjoy. They may be having a hard time with concentration and focus with things. And so that starts to look like seasonal affective disorder, and usually will lift after the winter season goes and we break into spring. But it is very common in folks. And a lot of it is because, as humans, we like to hibernate, right? When it's cold and it's dark outside, and we can't quite do that because life is still happening. And so that's why you can feel some of those experiences there.
So what can we do when we experience a dip in our mood, whether it's in the fall or winter or at any time?
So a rule of thumb that I like to share with folks is that when you're feeling down or you're feeling sad, do the exact opposite of what you're thinking and feeling, right? So for example, if you're thinking, oh, I'm so tired, I don't want to work out today, I would say do the opposite. Get up and actually work out, right? Or if you're thinking, oh, I just feel so tired or I don't want to work, get up and get excited and go to work, right? And so that's one rule of thumb that I like to share with folks. And then other things we can do that's important just to help with our mood and to feel better is movement, right? Also known as exercise. I like to use the word movement, but that can mean just taking a walk, maybe doing something that's fun for you if you enjoy dancing, maybe doing a little bit of stretching. Any sort of exercise to get your blood flowing will help you to release release what we call endorphins, and that's kind of a feel-good hormone, right? So that's another thing. Sleep is very, very important, right? And I know it's very hard for us sometimes to get that, 7 to 9 hours of sleep. But if you can try to fall asleep or at least prepare for sleep within that same 30-minute period every night and try to wake up within the same 30-minute period, that will also help for you to feel better. And another thing is just meditation, some deep breathing as well. And you can also just make sure you stay present with people in your life that you love and care for. And so if you kind of don't feel like going to the movies or going out, again, we want to do the opposite, that rule, right? And just maybe go ahead and go spend time with folks so that you're not too withdrawn from others. So those are some things that you can do to kind of help with the seasonal affective disorder piece.
Yeah, really helpful. So those are all natural things that we can do to combat a low mood,
Yes.
or depression. So let me ask you something else. How do we know when it's time to seek professional help? Say we try all those strategies and we're still, grappling with it.
I usually let people know that if you find that it's not lifting, so for instance, you're doing those things and those suggestions that I just discussed, and you're still feeling down, or you don't find that you're enjoying things that you liked, and you're still kind of withdrawing from others, or you have, a hard time with work, or maybe other responsibilities, that would be the time to go see a professional. So if it feels like it's starting to really start to kind of affect different areas of your life, like your relationships or going to work on time, things like that, I think that would be the time to reach out to someone and just receive some additional support so that you can find some other ways in adding to your experience of trying to lift that mood and get out of that.
So, Dr. Thomas, I want to thank you so much for joining us, at Wellbeing Matters. Your skill, your knowledge, your compassion, they're all very well regarded, and it was a pleasure to talk with you today.
Thank you so much, Robin. I appreciate you having me today, and I really enjoyed speaking with you about this topic.
We hope today's episode has been useful to you, whether you're struggling with depression or any other mental health issue. MCPS staff, please remember the Employee Assistance Program is here for you and your family members. We offer no-cost confidential counseling for a wide variety of issues, both workplace and personal. Thank you for watching Wellbeing Matters, and be well, everyone.